In the Lesson 3 folder, locate and open the Track Points Start project. Here we have a video clip of a moving car that we wish to remove from the background. To do so, we'll create a mask and animate it to move with the car. This process is called rotoscoping, and it's an art unto itself. Professional rotoscoping techniques are deep and well beyond the scope of this tutorial. In fact, if you're doing a lot of this kind of work, I'd recommend a dedicated application like Mocha from Imagineer. I actually don't recommend Motion for rotoscoping work because the toolset is somewhat limited. That said, you can rotoscope in Motion, and the track points behavior can help, although there's still often a lot of elbow grease involved. Here's a basic workflow. First, we'll use the Bezier Mask tool to draw a mask around the car on the first frame. The fewer points you use, the less work you'll have to do later, but too few, and you won't have an accurate mask. Once you close the mask, adjust the control points as needed. Now, if we tap the right arrow key to move the playhead to the next frame, the camera and the car move, and the mask is now off. One approach is to enable recording and adjust each control point on this frame. Then go to the next frame and repeat. This clip is about 1 second long, or 27 frames. If we have 30 control points, then we'll have close to 900 adjustments to make, assuming we have to adjust every control point on every frame. And that's for a 1 second clip. One way to cut down on the amount of work is to use the track points behavior. Select it from the Behaviors button in the toolbar. Every control point now becomes a tracker. In the HUD, set the transform parameter to Attach to Source and click the Analyze button. Motion now attempts to track each control point to keep it locked onto the same location. It won't work perfectly, far from it, and it really depends on your footage. But it will give you a good starting point and should save you some work. Let's deselect the behavior by clicking below it in the Layers list and play that back. Obviously, we have more work to do. Select the mask and move to the middle of the project, at about frame 14. Rather than going frame by frame, if you adjust the midpoint between two good mask keyframes, you may find that some frames don't need to be adjusted in the end, saving you more time. However, if you try to adjust a control point now, you'll find it won't move. This is because the track point's behavior is in charge of the position. To adjust these points, we first need to convert their position values into keyframes. From the Object menu, choose Convert to Keyframes. This process will bake the behavior into the mask. Click Convert. The track point's behavior disappears, and a series of keyframes appear on the mask itself in the timeline. You can now go ahead and adjust each control point. Once you're done on frame 14, go halfway between the first frame and this frame, or about frame 7. Once you're done on that frame, go halfway between the beginning and frame 7, at about frame 3. Then jump forward to about frame 10. Then, step through every frame of the first half of the clip and adjust as needed. Then repeat this process on the second half, starting with the last frame, then frame 21 or so, and so on, picking frames halfway between each time. It's a laborious process, but by using the track point's behavior and this workflow, you can speed things up considerably.